You know what's so crazy? We have women who will literally look you in your eyes and tell you with confidence that a man can get pregnant. We have women who will tell you that a man can get pregnant. We have college professors, we have doctors, we have people who study these topics for a living who struggle with the question, what is a woman? They can't give you an answer. They can't give you an answer. We have men, big, strong men, who think that they can change their gender in order to step into an MMA octagon to fight against a woman. And I don't know if you've seen these fights, but there are actually men who are competing against women in mixed martial arts. And there's thousands of people who are buying these tickets, who are watching these fights. And these men are absolutely destroying these women. And we live in a society that thinks that is okay. We live in a society that is more confused now than ever before. Can you name me a time in history where people have been more confused than right now? So many people are struggling with discerning what is true and what is a lie. At the most basic levels, we live in a very, very vulnerable state right now as a society. We are very, very vulnerable. And the reason why I say that is at the drop of a dime, what is true can quickly become false. If they can tell you that a man can have a child and that a man can get pregnant, what can't they tell you? What can't they flip? What can't they use in order to manipulate and deceive us? The options are unlimited. The potential is deadly. Now, I want you to think about all that. And now I want you to look at this picture. Maybe you've seen this picture, maybe you haven't. This is a picture of LeBron James with a pink skirt and a pink handbag and a super tight pink shirt. It just looks wild. It looks absolutely ridiculous. And I was hanging out with my friend, right? And he was like, yo, did you see that picture of LeBron in a pink dress, in a pink skirt with a pink purse? Like, they really trying to turn him out. Like, because you know how they always make specifically black celebrities, black men, there's this thing where once they get to a certain level of success, they put them in a dress. It's happened to a lot of people. Just Google it. It's happened to a lot of people, specifically black men within Hollywood. And he said, did you see that picture? And as soon as he said that, I knew exactly what he was talking about. And I was like, yeah, I've seen it, but guess what? That's not a real picture. That's artificial intelligence. There's a website where you can type in LeBron James in a pink skirt, hit enter, and it will generate a picture much like what you see in front of you. It's not real. It looks real, But once you really look at it closely, you can quickly identify that it's fake. And there's a lot of these types of pictures that are online right now. There's pictures of the Pope, there's pictures of Trump that look very, very real, but they're artificially intelligent. They're generated by a computer. But here's the problem. We already live in a world that is more confused than it's ever been. People don't even know their left hand from their right hand. How do you expect them to be able to discern between a picture that looks authentic but is actually artificially generated? We live in a very, very vulnerable state right now. A very, very vulnerable time. I don't know if y'all have seen these AI family member scams. So let me just read this headline. It said, a mother reportedly got a scam call saying that her daughter had been kidnapped and she'd have to pay a ransom. The kidnapper cloned the daughter's voice using AI. So imagine getting a phone call from your family member, your daughter, your mom, your brother, your sister, whatever, right? Imagine getting a phone call and they're hysterically crying. And they say, yo, I need X amount of money. I've been kidnapped. They're going to do all of these horrible things to me if I don't pay them $5,000. And it sounds exactly like your sister or your mom or your brother or your auntie or whatever. What are you going to do in that situation? What are you going to do in that situation? Some people are going to be able to pick up on it. Some people are going to be able to discern this is not real, this is fake. But other people are not going to be able to discern that. Like I said, these people are deeply confused. They think that men can get pregnant. You think they're going to be able to discern between an artificially intelligent, highly accurate version of their daughter's voice versus their actual daughter's voice? Most people don't have the capacity, especially in the moment, to discern the truth from a lie. Now, I want to get to the main topic of this video, which is TikTok. So, one of the most popular filters on TikTok right now is this gender swapping filter. This gender swapping filter, I don't think it's necessarily a new concept. There have been filters in the past that you upload a picture of yourself and it will change you into a different gender, or, you know, it'll tell you like what your baby's going to look like with another person. Like if you upload 2 pictures of like a couple, it'll tell you like, hey, this is what your baby's going to look like. These are not new forms of technology, but the distribution has gone off the charts. And what I mean by that is TikTok is the most used platform, the most used social media platform in the entire world, specifically with young people, specifically with children. This filter is getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of views, which would ultimately translate to millions of people, potentially millions of children, testing out these filters. And for most people, I'm assuming, who use these types of filters, I'm sure that they don't really think very much of it. I'm sure that they don't think anything other than it's a joke. They're having fun. They're going to send it to their friends and they're going to, you know, all laugh about it. But what about the children who are still very young, who are still maturing, whose brains are still developing? I would never let my children on TikTok. But what about the 11, 12, 13, 14, even 15-year-old children who are using these apps, who are using these filters, who are changing their gender and are now finding comfort in what they look like as a different gender, and are now starting to identify and see themselves as a different gender, and are now starting to fantasize what it would be like if they actually changed their gender. Because I think about it like this. Technology has the power to shape and mold a society. Technology has the power to influence our behavior, our decision-making, our actions. There's a reason why there's been an increase of people who are transgender. There's a reason why this is literally the gayest generation of all time. And that's not hate. This is literally by the numbers. Look up the data, Google it. This is the gayest generation of all time. More people are identifying as being gay, lesbian, bi, whatever than ever before. More people are identifying as being transgender than ever before. It's not a coincidence. It's because of things like we see right now. It's because of this technology that is being used to plant seeds of deception, of manipulation, of doubt into the minds of people, to the point where those seeds are growing and actually becoming fruit in their life, and where they actually feel like, hey, you know what? I want to become a woman, or I want to become a man. And they actually believe that that is a possibility inside of their heart, inside of their spirit. The devil is very, very smart. The devil wants you to think that you are somebody who you are not. The devil wants you to believe that you are not made in the image of God. See, we are all made in the image of God. But we're not necessarily all his children, because if you do not give your life to God, if you do not put your faith in Jesus, if you do not accept and believe in the free gift of salvation that is being offered to you, then you are not in the royal family. You are not a child of God. You will not experience salvation for all of eternity. And that's a choice. We all have free will. You can turn down the free gift if you want to. You don't have to take it. But we are all made in the image of God. And it is God's desire for everybody to be saved, for everybody to accept the free gift, but not everybody will. But if the devil can get you to believe that you were never made in God's image in the first place, then it's going to be much easier for the devil to deceive you out of the free gift of salvation that Jesus died on the cross for you to obtain. And that's what we're seeing right now. And, you know, there's a verse that comes to my head, Proverbs 14, verse 12. It says, there's a path. Let me highlight it. Excuse me. It says, there's a path before each person that seems right, but it ends in death. There's a path before each person that seems right. We all have we all think that we know what's best for us. We all think that we are able to make the right decisions. And we all think that at some level that we are good people. At least that's what the world would lead us to believe, that we're good people, right? Because, hey, we haven't done, we haven't killed anybody. We haven't done this. We haven't done that. We haven't, the world will lead us to believe that we are good people. Therefore, the world will lead us to believe that we have the ability to make solid decisions. And these decisions might seem right to us and our own understanding and our human understanding. But ultimately, these decisions that we are making in our own understanding, leaning on our own wisdom, on our own insight, this type of behavior will lead to death. Because we're operating outside of God's will. We're not trusting in God to be the director of our lives. We're not surrendering to God. You're either going to be a slave of Jesus Christ or you're going to be a slave of this world. And when you're a slave of this world, the wages that you will receive is death. For the wages of sin is death. But when you're a slave to Jesus Christ, you receive eternal life. Not because of anything that you did, but because of everything that he did for you. But there's a lot of people right now who think that they are making the right decision, who think that they know what's best for themselves, who think that them becoming a woman or becoming a man will ultimately lead to a better quality of life and more happiness and more joy and more peace. But that couldn't be further from the truth. And like I said, this is not hate against people of those communities, but it's more so an attempt to wake them up and to let them know that true peace, true joy, true contentment, it comes in Jesus Christ. And that's the only place that you're going to find it, is in Jesus Christ. It's scary stuff because technology is advancing at such a fast rate. And like I said, artificial intelligence, things like these photos that I showed you earlier, this is the worst that it will ever be. Think about that. This is the worst that it will ever be. It's only going to get better. It's only going to level up. And as a society, we're already dealing with this problem of confusion. When you add to that equation artificial intelligence, technology that is so accurate that you don't even know if it's real or fake, it creates an uber fragile society that I think ultimately leads to the return of Jesus. That's just me. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. So let me know what you think. Get in my comments, like this video. Subscribe if you have not already. I'm out.